The last thing I'm going to do is go back to the Lewis dot structures we did earlier, and let's determine their electron and molecular geometries. And for this first one, it's just too simple. We're just going to say the molecular geometry is linear. And you can do that anytime it's two atoms because that's the only geometry they can have. Let's go to something more interesting. So for water, water has 4 electron groups. So we go through these questions. 4 electron groups. So the electron geometry is tetrahedral. And the molecular geometry is, and so this is one where we have, put it over here, this is one where we have 2 lone pairs. So we have our little tetrahedron and 2 lone pairs. And that's how water is. That's why you see water drawn as a bent molecule. Okay, next. This one again has 4 electron groups. So it's our tetrahedron. And this one, so 4 electron groups. This one has an atom at each place, so no lone pairs. That means our electron geometry is tetrahedral. And because there are no lone pairs, when we look at just the atoms, the molecular geometry will come out the same. Okay, on this one, we have 4 electron groups. Again, like I said, all of these will have 4. Our electron geometry on all of the ones we're doing on lab is tetrahedral. For my molecular geometry, I need to think about what those lone pairs are doing. And basically I've got my central atom. Here's my tetrahedron shape. I've got a lone pair. And so I can see it's that short tetrahedron, which we call trigonal pyramidal. Okay. And by the way, these little drawings that I'm doing, that's just me trying to kind of make sense out of it or whatever. You never have to draw them like that. As far as when you draw them like this, it doesn't matter which side you put the lone pair on. I've been kind of positioning it so I could draw it over here, but it doesn't change the shape. Just know that when you draw it, see, like this water, I originally drew that like it was linear, and that this molecule is not linear, it's bent. So your Lewis dot structure by itself, you can't just look at it and know the shape. Sometimes when we know the shape, we do kind of draw it in the shape, but anyway. So this is another one, this last one is another one where it's just, it doesn't make sense to talk about the electron groups and all of that because which one is the central atom and so forth. But the molecular geometry does make sense. We can still say that's linear. So anytime you have 2 atoms in a molecule, we call it linear.